Hey everybody, this is Sean Hill, the Passive Income Coach, and today we get to hear from the man himself, Mr. Eddy Alexandre, as he tells about some of the frustrations that he's had dealing with the banking system. But before we get to that, I want to give you a moment to read this disclaimer. All right, guys, let's get to it and do it. Here. And like I always say, if you haven't been a part of this Telegram group, the Eminifx global community, definitely want to get be part of that. So much good information here to keep you up to date. So with that being said, let me go ahead and click on this.
$14 million.
And then let me go widescreen.
We had at the bank at the time with $14 million.
And let me be quiet.
That we had at the bank at that time. I think we had about 9 million when I told the member do not deposit money into Bank of America, because they keep playing with our members. What they started doing from day one, they keep telling them, oh, that account is no good, right? So when the member confront them, show them the account number, they take the deposit. But every time I have $6 million to transfer to the trading platform, $5-6 million to work, they always they drive us crazy. They itchy. They literally have diarrhea. That's the word. Okay. So now, when we reach when we decided, okay, that account is going to be closed, we told the members, do not make more deposits at Bank of America. Obviously, you guys didn't listen. You made another $5 million deposit into it while I told you do not, right? So that's bring it up from $9 to $14 million. And they tell me, okay, don't worry about it. We're gonna close the account. We're gonna mail you your fund. So get our attorneys to this. Okay, when is the fund is gonna get? They emailed me, the VP emailed me. I speak to Risa. Don't worry about it. As long as the member keep making deposits, they cannot close it. The member keep making deposits. So I forced the member to stop making deposits, right? So the member stopped making deposits. Now they give us date after date, date after date, date after date, date after date. I walk into the bank. I said, look, I'm going to tell all my members to go back. If you made a deposit to Bank of America up to March 31st from last year, go get your money from Bank of America, because it's not in our hands. They have $14 million in their hand. They're playing with it. They emailing me. I can show you that email every time. They say, Mr. Alexandre, you just call the risk department, tell them in 80 ways of manners you want the money to be sent to you. It will be sent. We're just waiting on you. I said, why do I have to call it? If you're the VP, I tell you send it to, mail it to our account. We'll deposit it in our banks. Why do I have to call? No, they just want to hear your voice. So you call, they talk to you. They said, don't worry about that. My lawyer, sir, talked to their legal department. They said, sir, they see 2 letters in the mail. You know, one of them has a big amount, the other one has a small amount. Like, they never said it. They keep saying that. Now I went to the bank. I said, look, I'm going to send the members to come and get the money. And I'm going to tell them, do not leave until you get the money. Don't tell them the money is in my hand, because it's in your head and you're playing with it. They said, oh, the member is going to be angry at us. I said, you wanted them to be angry at me, not at you. So what Bank of America tried to do, they get really upset because they realize that a lot of people are moving money from Bank of America personal to Bank of America immediate. Same bank. You would believe that Bank of America would be upset if I was having members moving from Bank of America personal to another bank. But they get mad because the money, when you take it from Bank of America personal to Bank of America immediately, now it's under our control. They keep telling me to go to invest with their trading traders, give them the money to trade. They're upset we're not doing that. So now they try to make the member angry to the point where you would have heard Eminifx already disappear. Eminifx is no longer in business. We can't pay our members. Because obviously they think, which small investment firm with that $14 million can survive with the rate that we're paying every single Friday? There's no way we would survive, you know? So they said, let's force them out. Let's hold $14 million and just keep talking, keep delaying, keep talking, keep playing the hide and seek. And the members by that time would be so angry at them, we're going to force them out. You know what? But lo and behold, this is not my first rodeo. This is really, I've been around the bushes. And probably if I opened that business when I was 20, maybe they would have got it. Well, but if you remember last year, I spent the entire year talking about when I do my SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. One of the threats we had was the banking system itself, which would hit us because people would be moving money from their personal, not collecting a penny, to Eminifx, where they're actually making so much money, and the bank would be very uneasy about that because obviously the bank is not. We're talking about millions, and they're not playing nice with that. They're playing dirty. Okay, so during that time they did that, trying to crush us from the beginning, from the beginning of that year. So from Christmas to now, about 5 months now. So if you realize during February 1st to end of to the second week of April, during that time, instead of us shrinking, we did so well that I paid about 9% from the first week of February, the month of love that I call it, to March Madness that I call it, 9% plus till the second week of April. Obviously, if I had that extra $14 million that these people took and they like, they're gonna have to pay. Don't worry about it. It's not a loss $14 million. Don't take it like that. But it's they playing with it to the point where they thought they could exhaust us to get you angry and go. So I can't make payouts during Fridays. So I can go out of business, and then all the stories will be, we went out of business. It was a bad club. It wasn't real. It was a bad thing, and they would cause that. But I have to tell you, the God that I serve is too powerful to allow that to happen. So I was very disciplined. I was very frugal, and I knew from day one that I had to build a war chest. A war chest in that case meant a big reserve. But I started having a reserve for 20 weeks because I told you, it doesn't matter what happened to the company, I have 20 weeks to function. So I built enough capital. So when you make your 5% and Eminifx makes its profit, so we reinvest our profit, and we did not spend that money like crazy, thinking that we don't have enemies. So we kept that money to make our reserve better. So I had enough money to cover for that 14. So I don't have to shut down, which this is what they wanted to do. This is really bad. But during that time, we grew stronger, we grew bigger, we became more successful. Actually, during that time, we created 12 new millionaires. So they failed. They attempt to crush us at the beginning. It's like they say they're gonna crush you, like you're insignificant. They're gonna crush you because they're so big, but they could not, because your CEO, being very frugal, very, very conservative in the way I grow the company, you're gonna see that we actually grew quite considerably, but with a lot of constraints. Otherwise, I would be way bigger. I would give you more 9%. I would give you more money already, but I have to be very conservative. Okay? So when I'm hearing people telling us, I give you too much money, I give you too much information, I give you too much stuff, they have no ideas what they're talking for, or what the battle is, or what the enemies of the system, or of what we're trying to build for you as a member of Eminifx, what I'm dealing with every day on a daily basis. So obviously what I did, now that I had a very enemy number one right in front of me, I started ramping up even more reserve so we can face any enemy that we have coming, and we started moving really away from the bank. That's why you heard us talking about another plan to have cash to BTC. Now, cash to BTC is even outside of the banking system totally, where you just put your cash in the ATM and it goes straight to your BTC wallet, and that's it. So we really removing our independence from the banking system up to 90% by doing that. So that money goes straight into your wallet, goes straight into the platform, get moved, boom, 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 automated, and that's it. So I have to tell you, when I share the good news, I have to also share the struggle. But this did not slow us down. So we used to keep about $25 million before they took off 14 million and be playing with it, and they're gonna give it back. I guarantee you that. And I want you to go to the bank. If you make a deposit in Bank of America up to March 31st, go to the bank and tell them, give you your money. They're gonna learn not to mess up with the Asians. You know, they have to give you your money because they hold that money. They like. I tell them, listen, I tell them, look, this is not my money. The people who work hard for that money and hard sweat, they're gonna come here and you're gonna have to give them the money because they have that receipt. You're not giving them the money. You're turning us around. You're gonna have to give that money, right? So I tell them, I'm not responsible for you. You're gonna have to give that money, and I'm sure they're gonna have to give that money. But I'm holding a legal battle with them, forcing them to do that. But they love legal battle because they're not in a rush. For them, legal battle is what they're gonna send 2-3 lawyers all the time talking nonsense, and then by the time that protracted battle, by the time the money gets released to you, let's say you get it released now, it's 5 months, you get it released in 6 months, they waste you for 6 months. And then by the time even if you go to court, you win damages, people who go to legal battle, they're gonna tell you, when you win a damage is one thing, collecting the damage is another thing. Okay. So smart people will tell you. So the big guy knows that. The system is made for, you're gonna have to have muscle to collect that damage, and that's gonna be another fight because it's hard for you to even seize anything from them. So they would put you out of business. But I have to report to you that your CEO did an amazing work. So from the time they started really driving us insane and giving us headache, and we had about $25 million into that payment portal where we move our money into our trading platform, we moved up to $100 million into that portal instead of staying at 25, so we can have a bigger war chest to attack, to defend ourselves against anybody who think they can put threats to our business. So we became even stronger in the face of that adversity. I will tell you that this evening before I had the meeting, we had about $100.1 million on that platform. Okay, so they can't stop us. You know, they can't stop us. They try, and when they give us that money, I'm gonna work it hard and pay you a bunch of 9% again. You know, so they can't stop us. We're gonna continue to grow in that space. Look, I told you last year. I said it for many meetings. I stopped saying it because it's become that.
All right, guys, there you heard it from the man himself. And wow, just a lot of information there. I don't know the details of the situation. I don't know if all that he was saying is true or not. And, you know, who knows? He knows. But here's what I do know. If you've ever dealt with a Fortune 500, a big company, especially in finances, especially a bank, they can be very difficult. They can be very difficult. Many times it's easy enough for you to make a mistake and they want their money then. But if they ever make a mistake, it's almost like pulling teeth to get their money, to get your money back. And we know that on just a personal, most of us know that just on a personal level. Can you imagine on a corporate business type level, when you're talking about taking money from what would be their control and they want you to do certain things with it and moving it off until another account that they don't have control over? Once again, you know, do I know whether that's exactly true or that happened? I don't, but I'm just saying, can I believe what he's saying is possible and is true? I certainly can believe it. I certainly can believe it. Not only that, as he said as well, a lot of times we hear about people who've been wronged by these big companies, and then they win this huge settlement or they win this huge judgment against them. Like, yeah, woo, they're millionaires. But as he said, a lot of these big companies are big for a reason, and they use two elements that they have at their disposal: time and tremendous resources. Time and tremendous resources to drag these things out, to wait you out. And it may be a lot of times when you deal with these people, it may be your children or grandchildren before they finally even see anything from a company that's been sued, or the company just goes out of business. You know, most banks don't do that because they can keep printing money and they can just keep dragging it out. But most of the times they just go out of business. And a lot of times, I think the biggest pressure that most of us can put on is from the pressure of public opinion. You know, these people, vast resources. So they can wait you out. But when you can come forth and tell the truth about many of these banks, and I don't like the fact that he called names. He didn't pull any punches. He called names. A lot of times that court of public opinion, that can be very, very powerful, very powerful. Anyway, just want to share that with you. Like I said, really, really, good interview. Definitely hope for him and the Eminifx community all the best. And as I always say, one of the things that you always want to make sure that you're doing is you want to make sure that you're diversifying your income. Definitely want to share this particular company with you, and that's called Pegasus. And you can get with Pegasus 1.5% per day for 200 days for 300% total income. And here's what I always love showing. They've been online 178 days online. So definitely a quality company. If you want to know more about that, I definitely will tell you how in just a moment. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. With that being said, if you got value from this video, and I certainly hope you did, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit that notifications button so that as new things come up, you will be notified. And hit the like button. If you did get value, hit that like button. And if you want to be a part of Pegasus, let me also say I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Always do your own diligence. But if you do see that this is a program that you do want to be part of, because you do need to diversify, make sure that you hit that, click the link in the description and in the comments. Well, with that being said, guys, this is Sean Hill, the Passive Income Coach, and I will see you on the next video.